and welcome to the Vlogging Pod. So, I'm back. And yes, vacation was far too short, and it just didn't feel like holidays usually do, especially with everything happening in the world lately, which brings me to where we are right now in the news. Recently, the head of this administration gave a speech to House Republicans, a long, winding talk where he openly admitted that he's losing support with the American people. He blamed media narrative, legal distractions, election fatigue, but at the same time, he insisted that his administration has great ideas and accomplishments that he believes aren't being fairly recognized. And this is where I want to pause. Because what followed that speech wasn't just self reflection, it became a window into the current political moment and how disconnected leadership can sometimes be from public sentiment. Because while he was talking about losing support, we're also seeing a Justice Department that has only released a tiny fraction of the Jeffrey Epstein files, despite federal law requiring transparency. Critics across the aisle say releasing less than 1% doesn't inspire public confidence. If anything, it fuels the perception that powerful people still live about accountability, or should say, live above accountability, something the American public is increasingly frustrated with. Then on the world stage, we have the administration aggressively inserting itself into Venezuela, tying U.S. involvement directly to oil control and regional power, while at the same time reviving talk about acquiring Greenland. That rhetoric has already triggered backlash from Denmark and global partners who oppose any suggestion of annexation or forced territorial ambitions. Again, all of this creates the perception that power is being flexed outward, while domestic trust is eroding inward. And back at home, two bipartisan bills supported by Republicans and Democrats alike were vetoed by this administration. Not radical bills, not bipartisan stunts, but broadly supported legislation. And now Congress is actually moving to override those vetoes. That is rare. And it sends a message that even members of his own party are feeling the political pressure. At the same time, Republicans in Congress are desperately guarding every single vote, especially after recent losses within their ranks, because their margin is that tight. And yet, the head of this administration is still publicly worrying about impeachment yet again, while also claiming that the American people simply don't understand how great his leadership has been. So when he says he's losing support, he's not wrong. But what he doesn't seem to recognize is that public trust isn't lost because the messaging is weak. It's lost when transparency fails, when bipartisan work gets vetoed, when geopolitical moves look more like power grabs than policy, when rhetoric grows louder than results, and when the government seems focused on everything except rebuilding faith at home. That speech didn't unite anyone. It highlighted the growing divide between leadership, perception, and public reality. And that's exactly where we are today. Today, podcast sources come from the Associated Press. Trump urges Republicans to focus on midterms while acknowledging political vulnerability. WTOP News, DOJ says it has reviewed less than 1% of Epstein files so far. The Guardian, U.S. actions in Venezuela are renewed, and Greenland acquisitions talk draw global criticism. PBS NewsHour, Trump vetoes two bipartisan natural bills. E&E Political Pro, House moves toward veto overrides on GOP-backed legislation. Thank you for listening. Until next time, bye-bye for now.